23rd, 2013 to order at 7 p.m. Everyone please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Stewart?
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Cronin?
Here.
Woollett?
Here.
Ballard?
Yes.
Cooper? Here. Audie?
Here.
Everyone has the agenda in front of them tonight. Are there any additions, deletions, or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I wish to remove 3A new business award bid for East Main Project Engineering. Remove that from the agenda, please.
Okay. Are there any other additions, deletions, or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I'll move to adopt the agenda as amended.
A motion by Mr. Audie. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any citizen comment on non-agenda items? Any citizen comment? Hearing none, we have no presentations tonight. Under administrative reports, everyone has their F&V report. Mr. Stewart, would you like to discuss that?
Yes, Chuck is here, and you want to quickly give a synopsis, and then I can elaborate if needed.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, can't say there wasn't really a lot going on, but we only had one alarm call out last month. And then as I noted in here, you can see that we had no problems with the fair this year again. All our analysis will be back Wednesday, they told me, so we'll be able to wrap it up with them probably beginning of the following week. We also had a failure of our air conditioner, one of the compressors on our air conditioner, and it's 25 years old, according to the date codes on the air compressor, and we're trying to get quotes together for that for its replacement.
Okay. So that'll be an agenda item after those quotes come in?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of like not totally urgent, because we're entering the winter months, but,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta get it done, you gotta get it
Right.
done, so he's working on
Get a
that.
clearance going now.
Well, you don't want it to get too cold, you won't be able to test it.
Yeah.
Right.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Bailey? Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Anything else from
No, but I have my liaison report when
Okay.
I'm ready for that.
opening it up for liaison reports, Mr.
How about I
Stewart?
take care of that one? S2 grant update, the sanitary sewer cleaning and televising commenced on September 10th. The contractor is about 98% complete with the manhole investigations and about 45% complete with the cleaning and televising of the sewers. The televising is still scheduled to be complete by October. Once the televising, this is a report from Giffords, I'm sorry, because I'm just reading. Once the televising inspections are complete, Giffords Webster will begin the review analysis portion to prepare the report. Giffords will be in the community to inspect the cleaning and televising throughout the remainder of the project, as well as provide a topography survey of the west end of the wastewater treatment plant. I also spoke with Becky, and there's been no complaints that we're aware of. She had no problems here. I also spoke with Jeff today, who's the project manager with Homer's Environmental. He's heard of no problems, and their work is going smoothly as can be for what they're doing. I did observe them. I did stop out there in the field and spoke with the other gentleman. I just forgot his name. Dave, with Giffords. He's on site kind of monitoring the situation. I watched them televise some manhole and then the pipe. It's kind of a neat little process. They have a lot of equipment. You've seen the trucks, you've seen the big water vac system. They kind of explained it to me while I was there, and it's pretty interesting. But obviously we'll have the report at the end. They don't want to give anything out too early. I tried, but they don't want to.
And how much did you say they were completed? You gave her
Andy said 45%.
Okay, I couldn't hear that.
I know when I talked to Jeff today, he said this was probably at like 2 o'clock. They were over 10,000 of the 20,000 roughly. Yeah, somewhere around there. So you know they're close. They've done a lot. And I think they started with the worst part first, correct? Wasn't that the original plan?
Yeah, that was.
So if they're not having problems on the worst part, let's cross our fingers that it continues to go smoothly for the rest of it. Um,
Does
Okay.
anyone have any questions for Mr. Stewart? Is that it, Mr. Stewart?
That's all I have.
Okay, any other liaison reports at this time?
Oh, you know what, I'm sorry, can I interrupt you one more time?
Sure, go ahead, Mike.
Dennis Ryan was also out at the sewer plant
Oh,
that Chuck told me about before here. There were no problems. He's obviously waiting for the S2 report also to kind of see how things come out. But he was there for about, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours
About an hour
roughly?
and a half, yeah.
To look at the plant.
And he's with the
DEQ.
DEQ.
I think that was it. Sorry, Lionel.
That's okay. I'm used to it. Madam President, tonight I took off the agenda the award bid for East Main Street Project Engineering. And the reason I'm doing this is through Giffords Webster has recommended that we not yet award the contract pursuant to MDOT's urgency to work with them in submitting the third-party agreement paperwork. MDOT would like to evaluate our bids and may have us rebid the secondary construction engineering portion of the project. Andy, if you can clear that up for any of us, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, originally we were thinking that we would be able to award this as one contract that for the PE and CE work, for the preliminary engineering and construction engineering work, because it can be done by the same engineering firm. But in talking with NDOT, they really want to see it as two separate contracts. And depending on the dollar amount, whether you're over 100,000 or under 100,000 for the work that you're doing, it has to be bid differently. Under 100,000, you can kind of do it however you want. Over 100,000, you have to do qualification and then go in and negotiate a price with them. As opposed to the way we just did it the normal way, and that, I don't know if that would directly qualify for their system of how they want it done. So I'm gonna work with them, and they have a little bit of paperwork that we need to clear up with them before we can really award that contract.
So we're gonna initially be, in all actuality, we're gonna be paying 3 different engineers for the one project.
Could be.
You could be, but.
And they all have to be different. And
well,
we're in
the
Armada.
The PE and CE can still be the same person.
They just have to be 2 separate contracts.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
and then the PE and CE are both covered under the 80/20, correct?
yes.
Okay,
So,
so both of them are covered.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, and is your fees to us gonna go up now because we have to rebid?
No, that's all right. That was
Okay.
my bad in not seeing that before, so I'll take care of that.
Okay, and then has the township been given anything on this project yet? Have you had those
Not-
conversations yet?
Yeah, I haven't had those conversations with them yet. I actually just got back from vacation today, so.
Okay, all right. We're throwing you right back in there,
Yeah,
Andy.
but I know, but I'll hop back on that right away.
Is MDOT aware that part of that road is in the township?
I told them today, so I know
Okay.
that they're aware
Because
of it, but
I know when you and I talked, I haven't, because you've been on vacation, I tried to call you, but I didn't want to bother you on vacation. But, I know you said, because the way we bid it out was the whole project, even though a little portion of that road is not ours.
yeah,
I just, at Jeff's recommendation especially, we need to be sure that MDOT is aware of that, because then we need to figure out how that billing is gonna go, what rate, how are we gonna do that? Are we going to do that, or will MDOT take care of that? So,
yeah.
that's important to,
I'll keep reiterating it
Okay.
and make sure that they know.
okay.
Also, tonight, we were given a proposal for NBIS bridge inspections, and I'm going to request that be put on our next regular council
Okay,
for discussion. Okay.
perfect. Does anyone have any other questions for Andy or Mr. Ballard? Hearing none? Any other liaison reports?
Sherry, real quick,
Yes.
we put Robert Darling finished up the project. It's just gotta get cleaned up in the park. Stone was put in there over the weekend.
Awesome. Great job. Are there any other liaison reports?
Is he gonna have like any kind of ceremony for that, or?
Not really, and right now, I think he just needs to clean it up, like, there's still mounds of dirt around there, and they're gonna replant everything.
Great. Okay, hearing no other liaison reports, we're gonna move to the consent agenda. Everyone has their regular council meeting minutes of September 9th, 2013, their payment of bills, and the sick time payout. Is there anything anyone would like to make a motion on, or remove from that agenda?
Madam President, I move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. We have no old business tonight. Under new business, municipal community credit contract with SMART. Are there any public comments?
Hi. Well, it is a little late for that time of year again, but we're back here again with regards to municipal community credit contracts. My name's Jeff White. I work for Richmond Lennox Township. I run the EMS there, as well as we operate your small buses that you see operating here in your community through SMART. I have with me tonight, I'll just ask if we can just pass them around, just some information on the phone number, the times that the current small vehicles operate in your community. Then on the back side actually shows a month-by-month kind of report. I give you a monthly report. It just summarized the monthly report into a yearly report, if you will, on the back side for the number of riders you have in your community. You'll see there's some months that have a very high ridership and some months that average right around the upper 40s to 50 number. I would share with you the upper 40s to 50 number is the more average that we see for your community. Some of the higher months may be something that was going on at your local assisted living centers here, where we transported a number of people at a time to maybe some event that they had going. And some of the other things that fall into some of those months that have the higher numbers is you have some churches that are involved in the McRest program here, where you pick up people and move them from your community to, I think, normally like the 23 and Gratiot area on a daily basis. So some of those months where you see the numbers, you say, why did this month look so high when the average seemed to be about 50 for the rest of the months? Those are the kind of things that fit in there. If you'd like specifics ever on that, really to get down in the weeds on it, I can certainly get you that detail as well. So for the last, I've lost track of how many years, but I think you were one of the early communities that worked with us when we started this program in 1999. It's grown just a little bit since then. In 1999, we were operating with one vehicle. In all these communities, we were pretty much operating the bus between about 9 and 3 or 4 every day, and we were, I think, transporting about 5 or 6 people a week. This last year, we transported 22,000, provided 22,000 rides, basically between Memphis down to Chesterfield, and then you're the farthest, if you will, west we come, and then east to the county border, if you will, the Macomb County border. So a pretty significant service area. We've got 5 vehicles that operate daily. We actually have 6 vehicles now that SMART provides us, but when you have that many vehicles, something always needs maintenance. Something's always in for an oil change or a brake job or whatever's necessary. So 5 vehicles operate on a daily basis. This year, SMART has not increased the amount of funding they give your community for us to provide this service in a number of years either. This year, the amount that SMART provides Armada Village is $4,712. Like I said, that's been the same for, I think, the last 4 or 5 years now. There's been no increase in that. We got fortunate this year. Actually, it kind of slipped through down at SMART when the budget discussions occurred at the state. There was actually a total of $2 million deducted from the municipal and community credit program in the state of Michigan. And to make a short story short, that would have decreased your funding by about half of what you would have got had we not been able to get those funds restored. Thankfully, we had, as soon as it came to our attention, which unfortunately was not until about contracts were ready to go out, which is normally in the spring. As soon as it came to our attention, we sat down with our local state representatives from this area and our local state senators from this area and said, hey, how did we miss this? and they said, oh, it was an oversight, and both State Representative Goyke as well as State Representative LaFontaine basically authored a appropriations bill that you hear about Lansing these days and they're not spending any money. This was a pretty amazing feat to actually get a $2 million not originally approved appropriations bill through the House, then through the Senate, and signed by the governor within about a 45-day period. So things went very well for us. I hope a lot of that had to do with the fact that the service we provide has become essential to an awful lot of people, especially our seniors and our disabled. And they were, our riders, if you will, were ready to go to battle over this issue. And I don't think anybody in Lansing wanted to hear from them or fight that battle, if you will. So I think our riders and our representatives did an awesome job of making sure that our communities didn't lose any funding this year in this. So with that, I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I think I'm last on the agenda too tonight. And I'll just say, we enjoy the relationship we have in Armada. The service gets well used here in your community, and we respectfully request Armada do as they have for the last number of years and provide the $4,712 in smart community and municipal credits to Richmond Lennox EMS to continue providing that small bus service here. Sure.
Do participants or riders have to qualify for this? Is there paperwork they have to fill out?
No, not in our community. So SMART, we've been able to do a couple of really great things with SMART, and I won't spend a gob of time on it, but SMART will tell you, and I've read some things in the Voice lately that have me a little confused about this, vis-a-vis a community to our south that's having some issues with their service. But what's always been told to me by the folks down at SMART is these are public transportation dollars. That means that anybody in the public can use them. That means there is no qualification for those. It doesn't. Certainly, we proudly market to our community seniors and disabled, and they tend to be the users because they're the people who need assistance with transportation. But if a otherwise healthy 40-year-old man wants to go to work every day and not have a car, he calls in, we give him a ride to work. It's so there's not there's not a system of saying you're kind of a member and you're not, other than we serve all of the members of those communities who allocate funds to us. SMART, again, not getting too deep into it, but really we're getting about twice the service for every dollar that we spend, which even makes it more the need for this being a true public system. We receive our total budget for operating this service is right about $400,000 annually. About $200,000 we get from all your municipal and community credits from the communities that have chosen to be members, and we've had really good success with SMART writing federal grants for the other $200,000. And actually those federal grants, we've now got them for the current 3 years, and we just had to apply for the 3 years beyond that. So we're good for the next 6 years on that additional $200,000 in grant money. So really we're getting twice the bang for our buck, if you will, in these communities. But the federal money also is predicated on this being a public system.
Could you, for the sake of the audience out there, tell the camera, what the phone number is that they can call for?
Absolutely. So the phone number where our scheduler is at is 586-749-7713. And the hours of operation are 7 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Saturday.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions for Mr. White? Okay, everyone has a motion in front of them tonight.
And the President offers all to allow the clerk to sign the municipal credit and community credit contract for fiscal year 2014 to distribute the municipal credit funds totaling $1,710 and the community credit funds totaling $3,002 directly to Richmond Lennox EMS.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark, any other discussion? We can take a roll call on this.
We're not
Thank you. Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wolock, Body,
Yes.
Stirrup,
Yes.
Coda,
Yes.
Cooper? Yes. Motion passes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, the next agenda item is upcoming agenda items. I wanted to let everyone know that I received a letter from Mr. Mark Hackle that I'll be discussing at our next agenda item, or our next meeting, and it's regarding the Macomb County Solid Waste Management Plan response. I've been getting numerous emails from both sides of the table on this. I asked them each to send one representative if they could, to kind of give us a little bit of information. In your next agenda packet, Michelle will put in there the letter from Mark Hackle asking for our response of 2 questions. So I just kind of want to get all of council's direction before I go ahead and do that letter. Are there any other upcoming agenda items?
The 2013 NBIS bridge inspection.
Okay. Are there any other upcoming agenda items? Hearing none. Any other citizen comments? Hearing none. Any other council comments? Armada Gutting is October 4th, I think, is that right? October 4th or the 5th? Okay, just so everyone knows in our downtown. Any other community events anyone else knows about?
Start getting your folks ready for holidays and the Christmas parade.
Yes.
Oh, and when's homecoming?
At the end of the October, no, it's October.
October 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I was gonna say something. Policemen won the police versus fire softball game, so good job, police. First time that they've won that one.
Actually, I think they won last year. So.
Mm.
No, I didn't think so. I
No,
did
they
not
haven't
think
won
so.
one yet. The flag football, the first year was a tie.
A tie.
Yes. And then fire won 2 years, and then the
I
police
thought
won
so, but
this
it was
year.
a policeman that told me they won.
Oh,
last
okay.
year, so I
Well, if we get
think
some
that
lights in the
they-
park, maybe we can have their squad hockey game. That'd be good.
That'd be great.
They love that.
No closed session tonight. The time is now 7:24. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Conan. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by
By
Mr.
everybody else.
Wolock. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.